All righty, everyone. I believe we have went live. Yes, indeed, we have went live. We have a very special guest here today as we do a special edition of My City, My Biz, the live magazine. That's right. And so I want to go ahead and make sure that we're getting this shared all over social media. So getting it out here to LinkedIn, to Facebook, and so that we can make sure that no one misses the opportunity to meet this amazing individual that's right out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That is correct. So I want to go on over and head on over so that we can have this conversation with this amazing individual. So she hails out of that Wisconsin area, like I said, Milwaukee, but she's an avid. I mean, when I tell you I met her on the basis of her being passionate about education, that continues to be what it is that she brings out. So I know that's the individual that I would definitely love to support. And so that's why she's here on My City, My Biz, because we wholeheartedly and know and support that she would be the next greatest individual to be able to go ahead and fill that seat. So there's a couple questions that I want to ask, but first I want to make sure that you guys get to know Kahri a little bit as we move into that. So great afternoon, Kahri. How are you?
I am well. Great afternoon.
Great. Yes, it's good to have you here at My City, My Biz on the
Thank you for
live
having me.
magazine. Yes, indeed. And I know you've been here before as well. You're no stranger because you're doing amazing things in our city. And we greatly appreciate you and your leadership. You don't just show up when the cameras are around. You do a lot of behind the scene things. And that's why I respect you so very much as a leader, because as we know, leaders, you have to be more servant than you are someone that has your hands out. So, and that's who I know you is to be, Kahri. So if you can just give us a little bit about Kahri. Who is Kahri?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a mother of four and a businesswoman, sister to, I have my three brothers, and I am a MPS parent, a former MPS teacher, reading specialist, which means I decipher data in relationship to reading scores and tests. I'm a MATC board member as well. Um, just proud to have you to be on your show today. Thank you.
Wow, you are so very welcome. See, I learn something every single time we speak, Kahri. And I feel so good because you know what? I tell people, with the Entrepreneur Society, that is our planet. That's our universe. It was created specifically for us because people just wouldn't get it. Well, if you were to tell someone else everything that you do, and that's a smidget, right? I think people
Right.
would be like, how is that possible? But it's a norm for us as high performers, right? And those entrepreneurs and people that have a passion for serving in their area or where they're gifted at. And so, Kahri, if you could please let us know what district are you running when it comes down to the Milwaukee Public School Board position, please?
I'm running for MPS School Board District 5. So that is North Capitol Drive, down south to Wells Street, east of I-43.
Okay, east of I-43. And so if you can let us know, when was that first unction that you had to say, I really believe that it's time for change, but not only change, I'm the one that want to be the one to create the change.
So it came about December 2016. So this is my second time running. The first time was more of an awareness thing because people didn't get too involved in the school board. As you can see, this time we have four candidates, so it's a little bit more competitive.
Mhm.
But I was in a transition moving back from Glendale to North 2nd Street in Milwaukee, 53212. And I was looking for a place to send my oldest child. And there was not a lot of options. And I looked at the DPI website. I was really disappointed. There was three choices
Yes.
for my son, and they already did the open enrollment in October, and this is February. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Where am I putting my baby? It took until August for my son to get a seat somewhere, like
Whoa.
literally the week before school started in August.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I ended up enrolling him at Mesmer.
Okay. Okay.
And so I feel like if I am one parent, there are many parents having the same problem. And it just doesn't make any sense that we have to choose between, there's how many high schools out there and there's only three choices within the public school system. That's not fair.
That's right. That's right. Wow. And you know what? And that's what I really admire about you as well, is because you are someone, you know how you have people that complain, they complain and they complain. They do nothing. They do nothing and they do nothing. But that's not who Carrie Phelps is. And so that's what I really, really respect about you, because you could have been one of those parents that says, well, I was able to get mine in, even though it did take that long. It sent me through here. The frustrations came, but you actually drew energy from that particular situation that may have been handled wrong, not wrong, that may have not been handled the way that you handled it by other parents, because people do not understand that parenting is one and of itself, a major task that parents have to deal with. But then also trying, like you're saying, you're in the midst of moving, trying to find a right school, and then you run into those road bumps. But that's really to be applauded, that you said, I am going to go ahead and not only learn from this, not only be able to take this as a stepping stone into where I'm headed, but I'm going to do something about it, because I know that there's other parents out there. And so with someone like that and like yourself, that's what we need in leadership. And that's what I see in yourself. So if me as a parent and I was able to go ahead and vote for Carrie Phelps, what are some things that I can look forward to you being that person to advocate for me? Because I may not know what to advocate for. How can you be that person for me? How could you be that voice for me?
Sure, absolutely. So I have what's called a blueprint for change, and have been working on this for a minute. And I just sat down and I thought about what are the four key things that I feel like if we were to make MPS more competitive, that we can take a look at. And the first thing is empowering children.
Mhm.
Um, and that's a lot. There's a lot involved with that. Well, I'll go back, touch back to that. And then have engaging curriculum that's actually has an equitable forum in that. And so a lot of people don't know what that means. So it's one thing to have equal. So every student is taught the same thing across the board. Let's say you have an eighth grade student, they have the same curriculum, right? But an equitable is actually taking that curriculum and saying, you know what, we have a personalized education plan,
Mhm.
and what we're going to, for each student, and what this student is lacking, we're going to find the resources in order to get that student up to the next level. So that's missing
Yeah.
currently.
Wow. Wow, that is so awesome, Carrie. Oh my goodness. And so I'm sitting here like, please make sure that you guys put her in. And because that's so important. That's amazing. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. It really is important for us, not only as we look at the children, but even as adults. I've always tried to make sure that when people say stay out the box, that's important for us to do that. And even through education, for our children, they are not all the same. They're totally different, totally different backgrounds that creates other things. So I believe that is so phenomenal. And I'm so happy to hear that, Carrie. So right away, it's not like you're coming in and saying, finna do. No, these are things that you want to make sure that you gift over, and you're able to go ahead and make sure that it's created for MPS and through MPS. So I think that is amazing.
Yeah, the third point is thank you. The third point is also culture. So we need a culture change.
Yes.
So as a parent at MPS, I have three children currently in MPS, and there's like one school that's all hands on with parents, and they welcome the parents, and then there's the other school. Um, they're kind of standoffish, and I've my kids have been to several different schools within MPS, and I'm just like, what can we do to involve the parents to a point where they understand that they actually have the power? Do you know, as a parent, you have the power? I
Yes.
think that's the key here. So I've been going around. I have a certification nationally for Innovate Public Schools, and what that means is that we're looking at best practices. How do we, as parents encourage other parents and be a resource to another parent and uplift other parents so that they can uplift the students and have that voice. So the culture change needs to be, there's a parent coordinator in every MPS school. That parent coordinator should be trained and not just running copies. They should be trained so that they can communicate and then go get those outside resources, because teachers are tapped, they're stressed. I get it, because I I remember buying everything from my classroom. But if we use the fourth point is the community, so utilizing the community. So if you ever been to a suburban school, you know that they have like a classroom mother, and they, in addition to a classroom mother, the classroom mother helps to organize strategically other resources for that teacher. So we're missing that component. And what I was able to do at other schools when I was teaching is that I asked parents, can they volunteer? Can aunts volunteer? Can grandparents volunteer? And then you just kind of give them a little piece to work with small groups. And then you just bring those resources in. So that alleviates a lot of stress from teachers.
Wow, it does. It really does. And, and the first thing I thought about possibly was that instead of it being presented in a way where there's no possibility of the parents coming in, because we know also, just being honest, is that a lot of times background checks prevents parents in MPS from thinking that they're able to serve. So I believe if people were to really put together something where it's all inclusive in a way where no, this excludes you, I believe that people will be able to say, oh, maybe I can, or maybe I can go ahead and get someone else to serve for me in my place. But to still know, I take ownership. Like you were saying, I love that word when you said empower. We can empower others through, if someone else's rights or privileges have been taken away, we can find another way to be able to empower them through someone else. So, wow.
Yeah, so that, I think that's the biggest key, is to make sure that we change that culture where parents don't feel like they're not empowered. We have to empower those parents, get them in. I watch this video, and I say this every time. Every time I watch this video, I cry. There's in Memphis, Tennessee, these parents got together and they transformed their school system. These parents were just so fed up with everything that was going on. And it's called thememphislift.org. And that video, it says it all. Like, it's how I felt when I started running the first time. And even to this day, anytime I watch that video, I tear up, because it's like, I want to help so many people, and so that they understand that they have the power, and this is what we can do if we work together. So this whole collaboration with the community, it's getting me excited. So
Awesome. And that's what it's about. It really is. And I can just feel it through your spirit. I can feel it through your soul, that this is truly what you were born to do. And I am so thankful that people are raising up their hands in Milwaukee, and to be able to show people that, guess what? We care, we do. And I'm just like you. And so we're going to be there not only to support you, to make sure we're pushing to make sure that happens, but also throughout the entire course, because I know that can get very tiresome as well. And so we want to, there you go. And so if you have more hands, it makes the load lighter. And I believe that you do have a whole amazing group of people that's going to be right there with you to be able to volunteer and assist however Kahri Phelps need in her district to be successful, because you've lent so many hands and so much help, and just a beautiful person all the way around. So that seed is definitely going to harvest. So
thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. And so as we get ready to close out this segment of My City, My Biz featuring Kahri Phelps, and she is once again running for 5th District. That is right, school board with the city of Milwaukee. And so we're going to make sure you have all of her information, because we want to make sure if you're in her district, get out there. Go and vote. I know that it's kind of thrown off. You're like, vote, win? Yes. These things right here are important. And a lot of times we miss it, but we want to educate you. We do not want you to be left in the dark. You can't say, well, I didn't know, because that's what we're here to do. This is my city. This is my biz. And it's all about taking ownership, Milwaukee. And we want to make sure that you do that. And that's why we have Kahri Phelps here, so that you can be able to meet someone that has boarded the biggest ship in the world, that means not want a board. And what's that, Carrie? That's ownership, right?
Self-tip.
That's right. And so she's done that in Milwaukee, and we need leaders like that. And so, Carrie, if you can just let us know what are some words that you want to leave us with as a community, and to be able to say, yeah, she is the one that we need in District 5.
I think first and foremost, I'm not a career politician. I am not. My goal is to be endorsed by students, the parents, and my community. If you notice, nothing is saying endorsed by any politician, by any group or organization, because that's not my goal. My goal is to serve the community in which I live in. So what I do need you to know, if you do have an absentee ballot, it's not like the presidential election. It actually does need to be turned in to the Election Commission by 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
I think I found a lot of people this weekend did not know that.
Okay.
And then the second piece, if you do not know where to vote, go to vote.wi.gov, and then it'll help you scroll through where your polling place is. Put a reminder inside of your calendar and your phone, and then make sure you text a couple friends and let them know, hey, this is bigger than us. This is a very important election, and to get out and vote.
Indeed, indeed. Wow, that is it. That's it, everyone. You ask yourself, what is it that you could do for your community? What you can do is to do what you know that you have been given the pencil to do, and that's to vote. Get out there, even if it takes you 15 minutes out of your day, 30 minutes out of your day. That's something that we all should take the responsibility to be able to do. We owe this to our children, everyone. If you do not have children, you at least know what it was like to be a child. And for you to have an impact some kind of way in that situation, we owe it to us. So we want to make sure that you do get out there. And so, Carrie, if you can just let us know also, as far as with how to reach you, if there's any questions or people wanted to be able to talk with you intimately, they're in your district and they have some last minute questions they have for you. How can they reach you?
Absolutely. So I have, if you are website based, go to blueprint4change.com. You can also go to Carrie Phelps Okoro for MPS District 5 on Facebook. My phone number, 414-395-0378. I field phone calls, send back emails, whatever it is that you need to know, I'm here for you.
Indeed, indeed. Wow, you are so very welcome. We thank you. We thank you for all that you do, all that you have done. We know that all that you will continue to do is going to impact the city of Milwaukee. And we are so very glad to have you on. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing, the progression and having you back on to be able to show everyone exactly what you are doing, because I know that you've been passionate about this without any kind of title. So I can't even imagine with a little bit of resources what you're going to be successful with doing. So thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty, everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in to this edition of My City, My Biz Live magazine, featuring that Carrie Phelps. She is amazing. Make sure that you do get out there, vote for Carrie Phelps, District 5. That is correct, for the Milwaukee School Board. So looking forward to seeing you somewhere in the city. Take care, you guys.